10 knowledge areas in project management. Here is the mind map about the overview of the topic. Now, I will go through one by one. The first one is project integration management. This is the process of coordinating all aspects of a project, from initiation to closure, to ensure that the project is completed on time, within budget, and to the satisfaction of all stakeholders. Here are the 5 process groups which will come up time and time again. In initiating, we have the first process called Develop Project Charter. In planning, the next process called Develop the Project Management Plan. To executing, we have Direct and Manage Project Work and Manage Project Knowledge. Next we have monitoring and controlling with 2 processes called Perform Integrated Change Control and Monitor and Control Project Work. The final one is the Close Project or Phase in Closing. Move to the second area, that is Project Scope Management. This is the process of defining, managing, and controlling the project scope, to ensure that the project stays on track and the project team has a clear understanding of what is required to do. Project scope management includes 2 processes, which are planning and monitoring and controlling, with 6 main steps. The third one is project time management. It appears throughout 2 processes groups. The first one is planning process, which is used to create project timeline. Secondly, in the monitoring and controlling process, we will follow through on that project timeline. Here is 5 steps involving in the planning process. After you've done all the activities, you will have your own project schedule. Moving to monitoring and controlling, the only process left is control schedule, including monitoring project progress and updating the project schedule. The fourth one is project cost management. This project management knowledge is to ensure that the project is completed within the allocated budget and resources. Project cost management divides into 4 steps. 3 of them are plan cost management, estimate cost, and develop budget, which are in planning process. And the final one is control cost, involving in monitoring and controlling. Project quality management. It is a set of processes that ensures a project's deliverables meet customer requirements and expectations. The 3 main processes involved in project quality management are plan quality management, manage quality, and control quality. In plan quality management, the quality requirements and standards are identified, and a plan is developed to meet those requirements. Manage quality. This process involves implementing the quality management plan and carrying out quality control activities. In control quality, it involves monitoring project deliverables to ensure that they meet the defined quality standards. Next is project resource management. It is a set of processes that involves identifying, acquiring, and managing the resources required to complete a project successfully. Project resource management involves 3 primary stages. The first one is planning. It involves plan resources management and estimate activity resources. Acquire resources and develop team are an executing process. Manage team and control resources are 2 main activities in monitoring and controlling. Project communications management. 95% of what project manager does on a project is communication. Firstly, setting out the expectation of communication for the project means how you will manage the communication on the project. And then, manage communications. The main focus here is that the communication is actually happening between stakeholders. Lastly, you control communications throughout the entire project lifecycle to ensure the information needs of the project stakeholders are met. Move to project risk management. The first process is to plan a risk management. In identify risks, all we do is to create a list of risks that could potentially happen along the project. Next is to perform qualitative risk analysis. Quantitative is more numerical, qualitative is more subjective. This is where if we don't want risks to happen, we make sure we avoid it, or if we want the risk to happen, we exploit it. We can use data analysis and meetings to watch the risks we've identified. The 9th one is project procurement management. This is the process of acquiring goods and services from external sources to support a project's goals. In plan procurement management process, the plan should identify the goods and services required for the project, the procurement methods that will be used, and the criteria for selecting vendors or suppliers. Next, the conduct procurements process involves selecting vendors or suppliers, negotiating contracts, and awarding contracts. In control procurements, the procurement team will monitor vendor or supplier performance to ensure that they meet the terms and conditions of the contract. Last but not least, that is project stakeholder management. This is the process of identifying, analyzing, planning, and engaging stakeholders to ensure that their needs and expectations are met during the project. Firstly, identify stakeholders process involves identifying all stakeholders who may have an interest in the project to ensure that their needs are taken into consideration. Come to plan stakeholder engagement. This involves analyzing the needs and expectations of each stakeholder to develop a plan to engage with them throughout the project. Ground rules, interpersonal skills and communication skills are required in this process. Furthermore, manage stakeholder engagement. We need to actively engaging with stakeholders throughout the project to build support and manage their expectations. Communication is a key factor to ensure that stakeholders are kept informed of project progress. Finally, monitor stakeholder engagement. Project managers must regularly assess stakeholder satisfaction and adjust the engagement plan to ensure that stakeholders remain engaged and supportive throughout the project. That's the end of the overview of 10 knowledge areas in project management. Thank you for watching.